baby.
The way you shake it, I can't believe it. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my PB go doing, doing, doing. I don't believe it, it's almost too good to be true. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my PB go doing, doing, doing. The way she moves, she's like a belly dancer. She's shaking that ass to the new Nelly jams. I think someone's at the door, but I don't think I'm my answer. Police saying freeze. Doing, doing, doing.
What do you mean, freeze? Please, I'm a human being, I have needs. I'm not done, not till I'm finished being. I am not resisting arrest, I am agreeing, Mr. Officer. I'm already on my knees. I can't get on the ground any further, it's impossible for me. And do not treat me like a murderer. I just like to be, yes, I make R&B. I sing song and go ring it strong. Ching, chong, 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 ching. Psych, I joke, I kid. If I offend, I'm sorry. Please, please forgive, for I am Triumph, the puppet dog. I am a mere puppet, I can get away with anything I say and you will love it.
The way you shake it, I can't believe it. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my PB go doing, doing, doing. Just like a Simpson, looks so tempting. Nick, I ain't never seen a ass like that. Every time I see that show on MTV, my PB goes doing, doing, doing.
Mary Kate and Ashley used to be so wholesome. Now they're getting older, they're starting to grow bum-bums. I go to the movies and sit down with my popcorn. Police saying freeze.
Doing, doing, doing.
What do you mean, freeze? Jeez, I just got my seat, I have ticket. Look, I put it away, my zipper sheep. Please do not remove me from this movie theater, please. I did not even get to see Mary Kate shower scene. I didn't mean to be obscene or make a great big scene. And don't treat me like I'm Pee Wee Herman. This movie's PG, Mr. Officer. I demand to see my attorney. I will simply plead innocent, cop a plea and be free. Free, yes, free, right back on the streets. What do you mean my lawyer's with Michael? He's too busy. I am Triumph. Britney Spears has shoulders like a man. And I can say that and you laugh, cause there is a puppet on my hand.
The way you shake it, I can't believe it. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my PB go doing, doing, doing. Hillary Duff is not quite old enough, so I ain't never seen a butt like that. Maybe next year I'll say ass and she'll make my PP go doing, doing, doing.
The way she moves, she dances like a go-go. In that video, she sings, get out your bozo. I need a new boyfriend. Hi, my name is Jojo. Police saying freeze.
Doing, doing, doing.
What do you mean, freeze? My computers will be seized and my keys to my ranch. I just bake cookies, Mr. Officer. Looky, take a whip of these. Here, I make Jesus juice. Take a sip of these. Nobody is safe from me. No, not even me. I don't even know if I can say the word PPP on the radio, but I think I did. Janet, is that the press? I think I decided. Psych, I joke, I kid. I don't think my joke is working. I must flee quick, get to the chopper. Everybody get out. I am not Triumph, I am Arnold. Get down.
The way you shake it, I can't believe it. I ain't never seen a ass like that. The way you move it, you make my PB go doing, doing, doing. So Gwen Stefani, will you PP on me, please? I ain't never seen a ass like that. Cause the way you move it, you make my PB go doing, doing, doing.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Who never blows his composure. Even though I hold the weight of the whole world on my shoulders, I ain't never supposed to show it. My crew ain't supposed to know it. Even if it means going toe to toe with the Benzino, it don't matter. I never drag drag them in battles that I can handle unless I absolutely have to. I'm supposed to set an example. I need to be the leader. My crew looks for me to guide them. Some shit up but just pop off. I'm supposed to be beside him. That Josh said I tried to squash it. It was too late to stop it. There's a certain line you just don't cross, and he crossed it. I heard him say Haley's name on the song and I just lost it. It was crazy. This shit went way beyond some Jay-Z and Nas shit. And even though the battle was won, I feel like we lost it. I spent so much energy on it. Honestly, I'm exhausted and I'm so caught in it. I almost feel I'm the one who caused it. This ain't what I'm in hip-hop for. It's not why I gotten it. That was never my object, for someone to get killed. Why would I want to destroy something I helped build? That wasn't my intentions. My intentions were good. I went through my whole career without ever mentioning it. That was just out of respect for not running my mouth and talking about something that I knew nothing about. Frustrates, homie, stay out. This just wasn't my beef, so I did. I just fell back, watched and gritted my teeth while he's all over TV. Now I'm talking to a man who literally saved my life. Like, fuck it, I understand. This is business, and this shit just isn't none of my business. But still know when this shit could pop off at any minute. To be a time when you could just say a rhyme and wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. But now it's elevated, cause once you put someone's kids in it, shit gets escalated. It ain't just words no more, is it? It's a different ballgame. You call names and you ain't just rapping. We actually tried to stop the 50 and John B from happening. Me and Dre had sat with him, kicked it and had a chat with him and asked him not to start it. He wasn't gonna go after him until John started gapping in magazines how we stabbed him. Fuck 50, smash him, mash on him, let him have it. Meanwhile, my attention's pulled in another direction. Some receptionist at the source who answers phones at his desk has an erection for me and thinks that I'll be his resurrection. Tries to blow the dust off his mic and make a new record. But now he's fucked the game up, cause one of the ways I came up was through that publication. The same one that made me famous. Now the owner of it has got a grudge against me for nothing. Well, fuck it, that motherfucker could get it too. Fuck him, but I'm so busy being pissed off, I don't stop to think that we just inherited 50's beef with Murder Inc. And he's inherited mine, which is fine. Ain't like either of us mine. We still have soldiers that's on the front line, that's willing to die for us as soon as we give the orders. Never to extort us, strictly to show they support us. Or maybe shout them out in the rapper up in the chorus to show them we love them back and let them know how important it is to have Runyon Avenue soldiers up in our corners. Their loyalty to us is worth more than any award is. But I ain't trying to have none of my people hurt or murdered. It ain't worth it, I can't think of a perfect way to word it than to just say that I love y'all too much to see the verdict. I'll walk away from it all before I let it go any further. But don't get it twisted, it's not a plea that I'm copping. I'm just willing to be the bigger man if y'all can quit popping off at your jaws with an I can. Cause frankly I'm sick of talking. I'm not gonna let someone else's coffin rest on my conscience.
Same OG, but I've been low-key. Hated on by most these niggas with no cheese, no deals and no G's, no wheels and no keys, no boats, no snowmobiles and no skis. Mad at me cause I can finally afford to provide my family with groceries. Got a crib with a studio and it's all full of tracks to add to the wall full of plaques. Hanging up in the office and back of my house like trophies. Did y'all think I'ma let my dough freeze? Hold please, you better bow down on both knees. Who you think taught you to smoke trees? Who you think brought you to ODs? Easy E's, Ice Cubes and DOCs, the Snoop D-O-double-G's, and a group that said motherfuck the police. Gave you a tape full of dope beats to bump when you stroll through in your hood. And when your album sales wasn't doing too good, who said out there they told you to go see. Y'all better listen up closely. All you niggas that said that I turn pop or the firm flop, y'all are the reason that Dre ain't been getting no sleep. So fuck y'all, all of y'all. If y'all don't like me, blow me. Y'all are gonna keep fucking around with me and turn me back to the old me.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. So what do you say to somebody you hate? What? Or anyone trying to bring trouble your way? One of his off things in the blood of your way? Just study your tape of NWA. One day I was walking by with a Walkman on when I caught a guy, give me an awkward eye. I strangled him off in the parking lot, but it's dark and I don't give a fuck if it's dark or not. I'm harder than me trying to park a Dodge, but I'm drunk as fuck. Right next to a humongous truck in a 2-car garage. Hopping out with 2 broken legs, trying to walk it off. Fuck you too, bitch, call the cops. I'ma kill you and them loud ass motherfucking barking dogs. And when the cops came through, me and Dre stood next to a burned down house with a can full of gas and a handful of matches, and still weren't found out. Right here, so from here on out, it's the chronic too. Starting the day and tomorrow's a new, and I'm still local enough to choke you to death with a Charleston chew. Slim Shady, hotter than a set of twin babies, and a Mercedes Benz with the windows up when the temp goes up to the mid-80s. Calling men ladies, sorry doc, but I've been crazy. There's no way that you can save me. It's okay, go with him, Haley. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
If it was up to me, you motherfuckers stop coming up to me with your hands out, looking up to me like you want something free. When my last CD was out, you wasn't bumping me, but now that I got this little company, everybody wanna come to me like it was some disease, but you won't get a crumb from me, cause I'm from the streets of. I told them all.
Oh, hold on a second. It might be some people need to listen to that over again.
With your hands out, looking up to me like you want. If it was up to me, you motherfuckers stop coming.
Like they forgot about Dre.
Yeah, right here. Might be a few of y'all need to listen up here. Carefully.
Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
If it was up to me, you motherfuckers stop coming up to me with your hands out, looking up to me like you want something free. When my last CD was out, you wasn't bumping me, but now that I got this little company, everybody wanna come to me like it was some disease, but you won't get a crumb from me, cause I'm from the streets of. I told them all them little gangsters, who you think helped mold them all? Now you wanna run around talking about guns like I ain't got none. What you think I sold them all? Cause I stay well off. Now all I get is hate mail all day saying Dre fell off. What? Cause I've been in the lab with a pen in the pad trying to get this damn label off. I ain't having that. This is the millennium of aftermath. It ain't gonna be nothing after that. So give me one more platinum plaque and fuck rap, you can have it back. So where's all the mad rappers at? It's like a jungle in this habitat. But all you savage cats know that I was strapped with gats when you were cuddling a cabbage patch.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
Shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. Did you capture it? Just let it slip.
Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab. it, don't you better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. The soul's escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder, homie grows hotter. He blows, it's all over. These hoes is all on him. Coast to coast shows, he's known as the Globetrotter. Lonely roads, God only knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, cause here goes the cold water. These hoes don't want him no more. He's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows. He knows dove and sold nada. So the soap opera is told, it unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. No more games, I'ma change what you call rage. Tear this motherfucking roof off like two dogs' cage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right in the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All the pain inside amplified by the fact that I can't get by with my 9 to 5, and I can't provide the right type of life for my family. Cause man, these goddamn food stamps don't buy diapers, and there's no movie, there's no Mackay Pfeiffer. This is my life, and these times are so hard, and it's getting even harder trying to feed and water my seed. Plus, see the thought I caught it between being a father and a prima donna. Baby mama drama screaming on her too much for me to wanna stay in one spot. Another damn monotony's gotten me to the point I'm like a snail. I've got to formulate a plot or end up in jail or shot. Success is my only motherfucking option. Failure's not. Mama love you, but this trailer's got to go. I cannot grow old in Salem's lot. So here I go, it's my shot. Feet fail me not. This may be the only opportunity that I got. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. You can do anything you set your mind to, man.
Yeah. Good morning in that, though, but it's Uncle Lou here, though. Yep, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou. Live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching the Lunch Money Show with me and Pigskin Pete. What's up, Pete?
What is up, everybody? It is your boy.
How was your walk today?
It was delightful.
Yeah?
60 degrees,
Yeah.
no humidity. I didn't get angry. It was great.
Yeah. Scott Kerr called in to do his fake news this morning, and he had to, right after he called in, he had to let me go because the heat and air people were there because his heater wasn't working. He said he had to turn his heater on this morning. That's silly.
Well, damn, I didn't have to turn the heater on,
No,
but
that's silly. That's silly. But, you know,
Yeah.
Scott Kerr's old.
yeah, he probably has to walk around the house with a blanket.
Yeah, old people get cold,
You
you
know.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's like one of those grandmas stays in a robe all day with a blanket over top of him.
Yeah, and slippers. Right.
That's funny. Yeah, it felt good here this morning, too. It was, I don't know, 55 degrees or something when I got up this morning. Opened up the windows, turned the air off. I didn't turn the heat on. I turned the air off. Opened up the windows. It's been nice today. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. This is the Lunch Money Show with me and Pigskin Pete. We do this every Monday night at 10 p.m. Gambling show, yeah. Which don't listen to anything I say. Good God, I don't know if did I hit a single game this past week. I had my worst weekend by far.
Man,
it was not good for me. It was not good for me. I got to try to make it up this weekend. No Georgia game this weekend, so I can just concentrate on gambling. I got to try to make it up. But yeah, I took a beating. What did I lose? I'll have to pull it up and look. I don't even remember now. I have PTSD. I know I lost the Georgia game for real with a comment section troll. Lost that one. I'll have to pull it up and see what else I lost, though. But how'd you do? Hope you did better than I did.
I actually had a pretty good week. I was 3-2 against the spread. But unfortunately for me, my biggest bet, money-wise, was on Georgia. So I did get screwed by that last-minute touchdown by Kentucky because I had him at 21.5. Or 22. Oh, let me look at it. Anyway, so I ended up being above 500, but I only won like a total of $19 or $20 or something like that.
Well, shit.
For the weekend.
I would love to have only won $19 or $20 this past weekend.
Yeah.
I lost 100 on the Georgia game and probably another 200 on Bet Now.
Let's see. I got my graded bets pulled up here from 2 days ago. All right. So Saturday, I won Michigan State -4. I won Texas A&M -11.5. I lost Georgia. I won Mississippi -1. And I did an over. Oh, this one also really pissed me off. So this is the second week in a row I've lost on a hook. I took the Army in Wisconsin over 37.5. Never mind. I didn't lose on a hook. I lost by 3.5 points. I took over 37.5, and I think the total was 34. So I lost on that one too. Yeah.
I think I had Arkansas. I think I might have lost. I think that might have been one of the ones I lost. And then I had a 2-team parlay with Cincinnati, which of course covered. That's all they do. But
yeah,
I won't believe this, but I had Florida -11.5.
Oh no.
God bless Dan Mullen. God bless Dan.
Oh wait,
Mullen.
I forgot about this one. I also bet the Jacksonville game and won that one. So I came out about $50 ahead.
Yeah.
Totally forgot I made an NFL bet. I think I even sent you the screenshot of that yesterday.
I think you did. I had North Carolina -7.5, and that was another bad beat. Miami scored a late garbage touchdown there, and they only won by 5 or whatever it was when they were up by like 12 or whatever it was. Or they won by 3. They were up by 10. Miami scored late to cut it to 3 or something, so I lost that one too. Not a good weekend for me.
Did anybody in the comment section take my advice and take Syracuse with the points, like I told you to?
That would have been a winner against the Taylor.
Yeah, big time, too. Would have won by, like, 11 points or something.
Hell, I should have listened to you.
Yeah, you should have.
I mean, you're just filled with words of wisdom.
If I can't eat my own cake, then what right do I have to eat anybody else's cake?
Words of wisdom.
I mean, I'm speaking facts.
The facts.
That is a fact. I mean, if I can eat my own cake, what right do I have to eat anybody else's cake?
Cole, thank you for the super chat. Anybody got any golf balls or mustard I can borrow? Well, Tennessee fans don't have any. They threw it all on the field. What a disgrace that was.
Now, the mustard thing, it probably was just some, well, I'm going to try to be politically correct here. Some gluttonous person that carries around mustard in their purse everywhere they go, or in their man purse or whatever they carry. But the golf ball, though, that had to be intentional to bring that in with the idea of throwing it at somebody. I mean, why else would you bring a golf ball into the stadium?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And, of course, that's what everyone's talking about, but I don't hear anybody talking about the Tennessee fans cheering when Matt Corral got hurt. I don't hear anybody. I don't hear anybody talking about that. All I hear is about the bottle and the mustard throwing and all that, and then I hear the Tennessee fans crying about Ole Miss faking injuries when Tennessee spent the entire night faking injuries too. So I don't know if you watched the game, but there was one point in the third quarter, the announcers even showed a replay. There was a Tennessee guy. They were on defense. A Tennessee guy was trying to get off the field, and I guess he wasn't going to get there in time or something. And so there's a coach on the Tennessee coach on the sideline. And he's jumping up and down, yelling at the guy on the field, and he's pointing down at the ground with both of his hands, and the Tennessee player just collapses on the ground. So, I mean, both teams did. Yeah, so I don't, crying about I mean, everyone, it's not like this is the first time a team has faked injuries. We see this all the time.
You see it every week. It's actually becoming way too common.
Yeah.
In college football. I mean, it's starting to look a lot like soccer.
And Tennessee and Ole Miss are the two most fast-paced offenses in the SEC. I mean, Ole Miss ran almost 100 plays or right around 100 plays. Tennessee ran between 80 and 90. I mean, that's just what it's become a defensive strategy. I mean, I don't like it either, but I don't know what the answer is. You can't police it. I mean, you can't have referees going out there and making a decision on whether a player is really hurt or not. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I don't know what you can do.
Well, you can't. Yeah, you can't prove it. I mean, all I have to do is say they had a cramp. You can't prove whether or not they had a cramp or not. I mean,
yeah. So you have to find a way to deal with it. It doesn't involve throwing shit on the field. But Tennessee's the most trashiest fan base in the SEC for a reason. So I don't know why someone's trying to call in, but this isn't a call-in show. So I'm going to have to let you go. Call-in show Tuesday, Thursday, 10 p.m. Well, what'd you think about some of the games this weekend? Were you surprised Iowa lost?
No, and I've been saying, I'm not claiming I saw them losing this week, but I saw them losing a game they shouldn't lose at some point because I feel like their season has just been too good to be true. I didn't think there's any way they're going to go out and run the table and win the Big Ten like a lot of people were thinking.
Yeah.
So no, I wasn't surprised they lost. I mean, I guess I was kind of surprised that they lost too, but other than that, no.
Yeah, I questioned whether they could go 12-0, but that's the thing about a team like Iowa. They're better than the rest of the teams on their schedule, but because they've kind of been getting by, and I don't want to say smoke and mirrors because their defense is good, but they've gotten something like 12 or 13. They're plus 12 or 13 or something like that in the turnover margin through the first 6 weeks of the game, and that's just a pace you can't keep up. And they've been giving that offense a lot of extra possessions, and it's not the greatest offense on earth. So I think it was bound to catch up with them at some point. I didn't think it would be Purdue because they've looked so bad. They've looked so bad this year. But as a fan of a team that's likely to get into the playoffs, I was hoping Iowa got into the playoffs because I feel like anybody that was in the playoffs would love to play Iowa. And like if you're good enough to get into the playoffs, you would love to play Iowa in the first round. That would be the closest thing to a bye that we have right now in the playoff system. Cincinnati all the way up to number 2 in one of the polls, 3 in the other. I know it doesn't really matter because the playoff poll is separate and independent, but I sure do wish I could get inside the head of the members of that playoff committee and see what they're thinking about Cincinnati right now. Because here's the thing: if they put their first playoff poll out, let's say the playoff poll puts Cincinnati at 2 or 3, and they don't lose a game, it would be hard, I think, for the playoff committee to somehow get them out of the top 4. I agree. So I'm wondering if they don't maybe put Cincinnati That'll be a big sign. If that first playoff poll comes out, when does that thing come out anyway? Does it come out in October or the beginning of November?
It must be the last week of October. I know it's after week 8 or after 8 games, so after week 9, whenever that is. It's either the last week of October or the first week of November. I think it's Halloween weekend or whatever.
Tuesday, November 2nd. You're right. So Halloween is that.
Okay, November 2nd.
Sunday, I think.
Yeah, so it'll be on that Tuesday.
That Tuesday, 7:00. Yeah. They come out, and then they come out Tuesday night every week until the last one, which is after the conference championship games, and then that one comes out at noon on Sunday.
Right.
So,
on Sunday, right.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where they put Cincinnati in that first poll, because that'll tell us a lot about how much they value Cincinnati's strength of schedule or non-strength of schedule. And boy, they really need Notre Dame to find a way to go to 11-1, don't they?
Yeah. Yes. I don't think they will, though.
They play Southern Cal this weekend. I think they still have to play North Carolina. And North Carolina's so up and down, it's hard to know what's going to happen in that game. Same with Southern Cal, though. But, I mean, I think those are probably the two toughest games left on their schedule. They don't play Pitt, do they? I know they play like 5 ACC teams, but I don't think one of them is.
I know they got to play Navy still, right?
And
or they already played Navy. I can't remember.
And Notre Dame, not even in the top 10 in any polls. They're sitting at 5-1. Their only loss is to Cincinnati, but not much.
I don't think they're going to get in at 11-1.
Oh, I don't think they're going to get in either. So, I just mean Cincinnati just needs Notre Dame to be 11-1, so it looks like a good win. Notre Dame ain't getting in. There's no way. No way. Yeah, they don't play Pitt. They play Southern Cal and North Carolina the next 2 weeks. Then they play Navy. Then they play at Virginia, home against Georgia Tech, and then the last game of the year at Stanford. I don't really see a loss there. North Carolina at home.
So the at Virginia game that's probably the most tricky one out of all of those, honestly. I mean, Virginia is a team that can score, and with Notre Dame's got some offense problems offensively. Is that on a Friday night?
The Virginia game? No.
Yeah.
Okay. No. November 13th. That's a Saturday. It looks like they don't have a Friday game. No, they don't. Notre Dame doesn't have a Friday game.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Cincinnati obviously needs to keep doing what they're doing, which is beating everybody by 20, 30, and 40 points. And then I really think they need Notre Dame to go 11-1. And I haven't even been keeping up with Indiana, so I don't know what the hell Indiana's doing or been doing or what, but it would help if Indiana was at least decent overall record. Let's see what it is.
I don't think they have a good record. I don't know what it is either, but I know after that was it the first week when they played?
Oh yeah, they're 2-4. They're 2-4. They got blown out by Iowa week 1.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
They're 2-4. So forget that. Indiana's not gonna help them any. So yeah, they got to keep doing what they're doing. I think they probably need Oregon to lose a game. They need the ACC to not get in. And that's how they would get it. They need it to be Georgia, Oklahoma, a Big Ten team, and them. That they need Georgia to win the SEC championship game too, because if Alabama wins the SEC championship game, Cincinnati's not getting in. Because Georgia and Bama will get in. But if Georgia wins, that'll be Bama's second loss.
I think the only hope left for the ACC is, there's less than a 10% chance the ACC gets it. Maybe less than 5%. But I think the only team that really has a chance left would be if Pittsburgh wins out and wins the ACC. They would be a one-loss ACC champ with wins, with 2 or 3 really good wins on there.
Yeah.
But the chances of that happening are very, very low. See, it's Bo Nichols says Wake Forest. No, Wake Forest isn't. No, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win out.
No.
So.
Going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Cincinnati needs to be big Georgia fans in the SEC championship game, and they need Oregon to lose another game, which I think Oregon will. Oregon just does not look good. I mean, they barely beat Cal this past weekend. They had to score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win. They just don't look good. I don't know how they beat Ohio State. I don't know how the hell they did that. But they did.
They caught them slipping.
Yeah.
Didn't they run for like 300-something yards?
Something like, yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
They kept running the same play over and over again, and for some reason Ohio State couldn't stop it. I mean, they ran the same play like 15 times.
Yeah.
With that running back.
Yeah, whoever gets into the playoffs, you'd want to play probably Cincinnati or Oklahoma, because Oklahoma can't win a playoff game, and I don't think Cincinnati will beat any playoff team. I think Cincinnati's good, and I think Cincinnati could beat a lot of top 10 teams, but I think once they get in, I don't think they'll win a playoff game. I don't think they're that good. Oklahoma looks just like 2017 and 2018 Oklahoma now. They're going to score 40 and 50 points a game, and their defense can't stop a nosebleed. So I expect the end result for Oklahoma to be the same as it's been every other year they've gotten into the playoff, unless they somehow got matched up with Cincinnati. That then should have a
that would be
shoot.
That would be a fun game to watch.
Yeah,
it'd be exciting.
Oklahoma's defense needs to get a lot better. A lot better. But we've been saying that for a while. So let's let Edward come on and do his song and dance, and then we'll get to looking at some of this weekend's games coming up this weekend. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, first we'll read, there's another super chat. Wilkie says, just came in. Did you watch Halloween? Is Pete going to live stream eating his own cake? Pete?
I might have a surprise for you guys. We'll have to find out. So stay tuned.
I hope there's going to be a disclaimer at the beginning so people can click off if they want to.
Yeah, there will be.
Okay, good. No, I haven't watched it yet, Wilkie. I didn't have time today. I might watch it tomorrow. All right, let's get our boy Edward on here. He's got to take the trash out every Monday night. I hope he's got Florida in that trash bin.
It's going to be hard for him to live up to how good he did last week.
Last week was great.
But.
All right, Edward, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Lou, Pete? What's up, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good. Well, I'd like to first congratulate Baylor, man, on beating BYU. Yeah, welcome to the Big 12, boys. This is what you're getting. So, anyway, well, on the clowning list tonight, or chopping block, we call it, Florida's in there in Miami. So, guess I'll go ahead and begin.
Yeah, do it, man.
Yes. All right. Well, Florida, you lose to an unranked LSU team, 49-42. How is that possible? LSU sucks. They got blown out last week, but you lose to them. LSU lost to UCLA. Florida, you garbage. You have 3 losses now. Guess what? You play Georgia next. Want a 4th loss? Looks like you'll get one. Georgia's way better than you, even with a leprechaun for their quarterback. Emily Jones and Simone Biles suck. Kyle Trask is on. Too bad, Gator fans. And that's the bottom line, because I said so. Oh, Miami, step on into the clowning box. You're up. Let's see. 4 losses now on a year that you were expected to play in the ACC championship. You suck. You ran your year. You garbage, garbage, garbage. You're only lucky to make a bowl game this year. And that's the bottom line because I said so.
Pete, Miami's only wins are against App State and Central Connecticut.
I know.
That's sad. And then they got NC State coming up. They're not going to win that, are they?
No.
No. Guess what?
You know what?
Guess what?
I don't know.
After that, they play Pitt. At Pitt.
Yeah, they're going to lose that game, too. Yeah, they're going to lose that game, too.
And then they play Georgia Tech.
Man, they might not get that. That's a toss-up.
Yep. And then at FSU. I think that's a toss-up.
I think Florida State will beat them.
I do, too. It's at FSU, too. And then they wrap things up with Virginia Tech and then at Duke. So they might win. They might beat Duke. Let's say they beat Duke and Georgia Tech. That's all, though. That looks like 4-8.
Man.
That's alarming.
That's something else.
That's hard to believe, isn't it, Edward?
Yes, very. Very.
Got anything else for us, Edward?
Well, unless you'd like me to go ahead and do a quick BYU clown, I could do that.
Go ahead.
Again.
All right, hurry up. Go ahead.
All right. BYU coming to the clown box. Guess what? You lost to Baylor in Boise State. They spanked your bottom behinds with a paddle, legs to smack down on your tangy asses. Welcome to the Big 12, boys. You got Cincinnati, Central Florida, and Houston all coming in. Guess what? They're going to spank your butts with a paddle as well and say, welcome to the Big 12, boys. At BYU, you're going to be crying and crying and crying. That's the bottom line because I said so, stupid pricks.
Good job, Edward. Good job.
Thank you.
Clown in the bicycle college. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Right. You got it.
All right, take it easy.
Have a good night, guys.
Edward checking
All
in.
right, see you,
checking
Edward.
out the trash like he does every Monday night.
Did he say he would spank their bottoms with a paddle?
I think that's what he said.
That was disturbing.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. That is disturbing. Close your eyes and picture that. Edward with a bunch of Mormons bent over his lap.
I could bend him over a scooter.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a look at the games coming up this weekend, the odds, the spreads, over-unders, money lines, all that kind of stuff. And me and Pete will give you our thoughts on some of this weekend's biggest games. And after we do that, we'll come to the comment section and see what else it is. If we skipped any you guys want us to talk about, we'll see if we have time to go back and cover those. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. First off, Baylor Man, The Biscuit, Devin Dixon, Zach the Purdue Fan, Greg, B. Bean, Jeff Webster, Dr. Vol, Esso, Go Tigers 504, Tiger Baskins, Jacob, Traveling Fools. I think he's in Trinidad, by the way. Traveling Fools.
In Tobago?
I don't know if he's only in Trinidad or if he's in Trinidad and Tobago. I'd have to ask him. And are people really running around barefooted? I would like to know that, too. And has everyone there not eaten since Christmas? I'd like to know that, too. B. Bean, Sawblade, Rob Dog, Jerome Pruitt, Matt Dummett, Dylan George, Bluegrass Sports Media, Lath Musa, Tobin, Darth Douchebag, Eli James, Ego 1, Esso, Faux Nickel, Exploring with Ben. Actually, Exploring with Ben is who's in Trinidad, I think. One of them is in Trinidad. I've subscribed to both of them. And I think it's actually, I think it's Exploring with Ben that's in Trinidad. Aren't you in Trinidad, Ben? I can't remember. Anyway, one of them's in Trinidad. Yeah. Tanner Lowe, Battle Angel. Ben is in Trinidad. Okay, thank you. Greg, thank you for the super chat. Muschamp refused to stay out of the offense. McElwain refused to listen to anyone. Mullen refuses to make changes, all brought down by stubbornness. Mullen's got some issues. That is for sure. Scott Kerr, thank you for the super chat. Carl Childers was at that Tennessee game having some mustard and biscuits. Mm-hmm. Lucky he didn't throw a sling blade on the field. Some folks called it a Kaiser blade.
Is he related to Chris Childers? You know who Chris Childers is?
Yeah, the guy from Sirius XM Radio.
Yeah, is he related to him?
Carl Childers? No. Carl Childers, well, he might be, but of course, Carl spent most of his life locked up in a nervous hospital.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about Chris Childers. I think he spent most of his life locked up at Sirius XM. Yeah. I'd also like to look, now when we talked about Miami and who they've beat, I'd also like to take a look at Florida. Let's see. In their last, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In their last 10 games, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Oh.
Here's their 4 wins in their last 10 games. FAU, South Florida, Tennessee, and Vandy.
My Lord.
Poverty. Losses to Kentucky, LSU, Alabama, LSU again, Alabama again, Oklahoma. Pitiful.
How does Dan Mullen survive this season?
I don't know. Florida fans are happy, I guess. I don't know. I mean, boy, that Georgia-Florida game, that's 2 weeks away, but so we won't talk much about that today. But that's going to be a massacre. That's going to be a give-up game for Florida. That game's going to be over after the first quarter. I for one, can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Does Georgia's got a bye week this week, right? Who does Florida play?
They're on a bye.
Oh, okay. So both have got a bye, right?
However, Billy Paul says Carl Childers liked Clemson. He was a tater man. He liked the taters. He did like taters.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, let's take a look at some of this weekend's games, shall we? Yes, we shall.
The first one on the list is a good one for betting, at least according to me.
The first one on the list is a good one. Coastal Carolina and App State?
Yep. And that's a weird thing. It's a Wednesday night game.
Yeah.
When did they start doing Wednesday night games?
I'm assuming both of these teams had a bye this past weekend. I can't. I had to have. They can't play 2 games in 4 days, right? Must have had a bye this past weekend.
Either that or, yeah, they did.
Coastal Carolina's a 4-point road favorite.
Yeah. I think Coastal Carolina wins this big. They've been blowing everybody out. And App State is really not as good as they have been the past couple of years.
No, they're so bad they lost to Miami.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Coastal Carolina just blows people out. Like, we thought last year was kind of a little bit of a flash in the pan for them. It's like one of those, magical seasons that these group of 5 teams have every once in a while. But they're really good. Like I said, they score 1 million points a game, man. So I'm going to actually bet this. I'm going to take Coastal Carolina with the 4 points.
Yeah, I like Coastal Carolina there too. Like you said, forget the joke about Miami. App State's just not been quite as good as they have been the last few years, just in general. And Coastal Carolina does seem like a team that's legitimately good, not just a one-off thing in a COVID year. They're scoring a lot of points. People are in love with their coach. Do all their players still have mullets?
Yes.
Last year, all their players grew mullets.
Yep.
It was great.
Mullets and the Mormons, right?
Yeah. The mullets versus the Mormons. And, of course, the mullets went ahead and won.
You do know who their offensive coordinator is?
No.
You know who Willie Corn is?
Wasn't he a Tater quarterback?
He was a Tater quarterback. That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with all the hate for Tony Elliott in Tater land, we know Dabo Swinney loves hiring former Clemson players because, I mean, hell, more than half of the damn coaching staff used to play for Clemson. So I say get rid of Tony Elliott and go out and pick up this corn tater guy. No, seriously, he's obviously a decent coordinator. Otherwise, he wouldn't be coordinator for Coastal Carolina. He's got such a good offense. But
yeah. And look, about Clemson, we're late enough in the season now. We've seen enough. They've got to make some kind of a change. I mean, their offense is just horrible.
It's last in the ACC.
Yeah, and it didn't get any better after the bye week. I mean, I could tell no difference in Clemson pre-bye week or after the bye week. That offense is just absolutely horrible. I don't know what's wrong with the ukulele either. It might be that he's just not that dude, and you might have to find somebody else there too. I mean, I don't know, well, the
only way you would find that out is if you put him on the bench and bring somebody else in and see if he is part of the problem.
Yeah. Has any other quarterback taken a snap all year for Clemson?
Pumachan, he took one snap last week. One snap. And it was a design quarterback run. He ran for like 3 yards.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, Pumachan, I've seen, he's played in live games before. He's an upperclassman. He's not like he's a new guy.
Right.
He was a 4-star recruit. He can run. He has a much better running element than the ukulele does. The ukulele's not a good runner at all. He certainly is not a good scrambler. But I think you got to park him on the bench, man. But for some reason, they're unwilling to do that. And these comments coming out from Tony Elliott, it's every week it's the same thing. Oh yeah, we're right around the corner from breaking things loose on offense. Yeah. Well, the season's almost over, dude.
Right.
I mean, right around the corner. Fuck.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Dabo's gonna have to make some changes in the offseason, I think, because if he doesn't, and the offense looks like this next year, then what? I mean, you got to try something. This is really bad, considering how good they've been for so many years in a row now. And even if, the ukulele, it was impossible that Clemson was just going to keep having first-round draft pick QBs. I mean, that just never lasts. You had Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, but you don't have to have a top 10 draft pick QB to have a legitimate college offense. I mean, look around college. Look at Stetson Bennett. That guy's not getting drafted. Georgia's offense is doing okay. And I mean, plenty, and so are a million others. So even if the ukulele's not quite as good as Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson, hardly any quarterback in all of college football is that good. So, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's play calling, scheme. I don't know. Or maybe he's just severely overrated.
There's not just him. There's a lot of problems. The offensive line is a huge problem. But if you go back and look all the way from Taj Boyd on up, all the way through Trevor Lawrence, I mean, Clemson used to run 80, 100 plays a game.
Yeah,
they're not doing that anymore. I mean, they're slow. I guess they got used to just being so much better than everybody else in the ACC that they could just line up and just beat them with physically. But you can't do that anymore. I mean, you got to be more creative on offense, especially if you have an offensive line that can't block. but there's no creativity on the offense, and that's the frustrating thing for Clemson fans is that there's and it's not even that it's not creative. They just continue to do the same shit week after week and don't even attempt to change anything. That's the frustrating part. At least if you tried something different and failed, I'd say at least you tried, but they're not even trying.
Yeah. I watched almost all of that Clemson game because it was on Friday and there was nothing else on. I mean, I've seen parts of other Clemson games, and obviously I saw the Georgia Clemson game. But I wasn't even doing the thing where I was watching 3 games at once. I mean, I literally sat in the den and watched the Clemson game, and I just can't. It's like you're dreaming or something. It's like there's just no way. Like, Clemson is the offense that so many teams have wanted to be forever. And now you watch them, and it's like, oh, my God, like, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for that defense, I mean, y'all would be getting blown out by average ACC teams. You know what I mean? That defense keeps you in a lot of games. That defense is still really good.
Yeah. They're still really good, but they're having a hard time holding on, man.
But they're out on the field constantly.
Yeah.
You know, they're wearing out.
They're dropping like flies, too. Yeah.
Willie Williamson says, thank you for the super chat, Willie. He says, support Lyle. He'd never let UT trash fans throw their garbage on the field. Pete, he's true about that. In fact, our buddy Butch Jones Lyle was such a stickler for clean sidelines, he kept a trash can on the sideline. I remember that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. That wouldn't have happened under Butch Jones. He was, cleanliness is next to godliness, Pete. And Butch Jones is a very godly individual, and so he kept trash cans on the sideline. So yeah, this commenter Willie is right. There would not have been trash littering the sidelines if Butch Jones was still there. They could have just put it in the trash cans that he kept there. And Tiger Baskins sent me sent a Cash App. Thank you, Tiger Baskins. He says, "Who you gonna call? TB. I passed my test today. He doesn't have AIDS, Pete. So that's good. That is good news. Yeah, that is good news. Or chlamydia, it says either. Yeah, negative for all STDs, it says here. Congratulations, TB. Glad you passed. Thank you for the
I'm happy for it.
Cash App. And who you going to call? TB. Whenever he does his call-in shoe. Cole Spinner, thank you for the super chat. Praying for the Mullen extension. Yeah, me too. Hope Florida keeps him forever, to be honest. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Lock him up, lifetime contract. All right, let's see what games we got coming up next. Nothing that interests me on Thursday. No ACC game on Friday? The hell is going on here, Pete?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Got a Pac-12 game, but it's Washington and Arizona. Arizona's Kansas level bad. I don't care about that either. We were just talking about Indiana. They host Ohio State. And you can get Ohio State for just under 3 touchdowns. Pete, how's that sound to you?
That sounds good.
Sounds like a winner.
Off of the Ohio. That sounds like a winner to me, too. I hopped off the Ohio State train as far as covering the spread early in the season, but I'm right back on it, especially against Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised to see this line move closer to 23 by kickoff. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised either. I think, you know what it is, too? I think there's some value on Ohio State right now. I know in my comment section, and you can probably see in yours, too, I don't think there's a lot of people that haven't paid any attention to Ohio State since the Oregon game.
Yeah.
And this ain't that Ohio State. I would love to play. I would if Georgia makes the playoffs, I would love to play week 2 Ohio State. But week 7, week 8 Ohio State ain't week 2 Ohio State.
No.
That offense is something to see now. So I think there's some value in this line. I like Ohio State here too, even though it's on the road. We just got done talking about how Indiana's 2-4 or whatever they are. I think Ohio State go in there and score as many as they want.
Yeah, I think it's going to get ugly. They might be up by 20 at halftime.
Yeah.
This is one I definitely will bet. I mean, I probably need to just go ahead and do it now. What do you think?
Might as well.
Well, the line's so, because it's not going to go lower than that.
I'm going to pick out another one while you're making that bet. Well, Georgia Tech at Virginia. Now, you just got done telling me that Virginia might be a test for Notre Dame. They're a 7-point home favorite over Georgia Tech. There's a lot of Jekyll and Hyde teams in the ACC this year, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, Florida State.
The majority of the ACC.
Yeah, Florida State couldn't beat a wet paper bag a month ago. They look better now. Georgia Tech almost beat Clemson and then blown out by the next week, and it's up and down. North Carolina completely up and down. What do you think about this one, though? Georgia Tech on the road at Virginia. Virginia's favored by 7.
My gut tells me that Virginia will win this by at least 7, but the problem is Georgia Tech, not Virginia. They're unpredictable.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, they lose to a FCS team, and then they beat every living hell out of North Carolina. Tech did. I don't know what Tech team's going to show up. So they're the one that scares me, not Virginia. I mean, I still think very long shot for Tech to win this game, but they might keep it less than 7 points. I'm staying away from it. I don't know who to bet on there.
Well, I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going to take under 61.5.
Okay. Yeah.
How about that?
I actually like that. I actually like that.
What did the final score end up being of the Ole Miss Tennessee game?
Oh.
It was under 80, wasn't it? Was it 30?
Yeah, I think it was
31 to 26?
Yeah, it was under. Yeah.
More high scoring than
it was
that?
Under 80.
Okay, under 80. That was a ridiculous line. One of the highest we've seen. All right, what else you like on here? I think Virginia wins the game. I won't bet on this game probably for what you said about Georgia Tech, but I do think Virginia can win this game at home. But I'll take the under 61.5. I don't know about the spread.
I'm looking at. Well, let me just try to get this out of the way. There's a couple of other ACC games there: Boston College and Louisville, and Syracuse and Virginia Tech. But I'm gonna move right down to the Tater Man. I know we talked a little bit about this already. At Pitt, 3:30 in the afternoon. Pittsburgh favored by 3.5 points. This is the first time, and I want to say 7 or 8 years. Somebody in the chat probably knows the exact date that Clemson has been an underdog to another ACC team.
Wow.
And I do, and I'm not going to go back on what I said. I said that I think that Pittsburgh's the best team in the ACC this year. They definitely have the best quarterback. That's not even up for debate. And he's playing the best. I do think Clemson's going to lose this game. I'm not going to bet it for, because I don't bet Clemson anyway. But I don't know at 3.5, if it weren't for that half a point.
Yeah.
Because Clemson, even if they lose, they're not going to get blown out.
They really want you to take that 3.5 with Pittsburgh, too. They're giving you even money.
Yeah, right. So I don't know how to tell people to bet on it because I'm not going to bet on it either way. But maybe tempted to take the over 46.5, but I don't know if Clemson can score 20-something points. They haven't done. Clemson hasn't scored over 20 points in regulation this year, which is crazy.
My God, poverty.
Yeah. So I guess if I was going to give advice, if somebody's putting a gun to your head and says you have to bet this game one way or the other, I would take Pittsburgh, but I don't like that half a point. I would feel better taking Pittsburgh if it was just -3 or lower.
I've seen enough. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I refused to believe for 6 weeks what I was seeing every time I watched Clemson play. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm taking Pitt. I'll lay to 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen enough as it
That's
were.
most likely your ACC champ right there, Pitt.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Are they from Clemson's division or the other division? The other division, right?
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, those Coastal division. And there's really nobody in the Coastal that can challenge Pittsburgh at this point, I don't think. I mean, Miami's terrible.
Yeah.
North Carolina's falling off the map. Georgia Tech's no good. I guess the only team that really has a chance to give them a run is Virginia. But even they've lost a few games. They might not be able to catch up.
Yeah.
So
you could have a thing like you had a few years ago where you have like an 8-4 team in the ACC title game.
oh, it's certainly possible, yeah. I don't see Pittsburgh losing 4 games though. So
Yeah, but who are they going to play?
they might. Oh, you mean from the Atlantic division? Oh, well, that's a fair point. I don't think Clemson will lose 4 games. They might lose 3 though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hell, they've already lost 2. So
What else is on here?
you're right.
Well, we can get this over with quick. Cincinnati on the road at Navy. Cincinnati's favored by 27.5. I believe Navy, like Army, runs the triple option, so could slow the game down and give Cincinnati some trouble. Wait a minute. Does Navy run the triple option? Or am I thinking of Air Force?
Yes.
Navy does.
Navy still does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going to take Cincinnati. I mean, I know eventually they're not going to cover, but I'm going to bet them every week, and at the end of the season, I'm going to be 10-2 or 11-1 betting on Cincinnati every week. So I'm going to take I don't even have to think on these. I'm taking Cincinnati every week.
I'm with you. It seems like a lot of, because the Navy likes to slow the game down and they don't let the other team have the ball as much. And so that for that reason, the 27.5 seems like a lot. But I'm with you. If you bet on Cincinnati every week, you're going to win way more than you lose. So just play the odds that way. And also, Navy's just not very. I mean, this might be the worst Navy team in the past 20 years.
Damn.
So they're bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Cincinnati.
All right, so we agree on that one. Rhino and Huffer Billy Paul have hit the PayPal link. Well, you guys are really something else. We really appreciate it. Let's see what Rhino has to say. He says, "This is for my man Tiger Baskins. He won the challenge." I guess they challenged him to not get an STD. I don't know what the challenge was, but congratulations for winning the challenge, TB. And HBP, Huffer Billy Paul, says, "You said the phrase that pays. TB got his Superman cape today." I feel like there might be some kind of an inside joke going on between Rhino, Huffer Billy Paul, and Tiger Baskins that I don't know about yet.
I think I figured out the riddle here. They were trying to get you to say a phrase without telling you to say the phrase, and you said it.
What was
so
the
they're
phrase?
rewarding? I guess the Superman thing.
What did I say about?
I don't know.
Superman?
I don't know what it was. I don't know.
Let's move along. I feel so confused. Right. I feel like they're laughing at us right now, and I feel like there's something funny, and everyone knows it, but me and you. So I'm just going to move along with the predictions.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for hitting the PayPal, though. Whatever the reason, we really appreciate it. Here you go. NC State at Miami. NC State's a 3-point road favorite. Now, Pete, I have to admit, Miami played much better this past weekend than I thought they would play on the road. On the road at North Carolina, down to their basically third-string quarterback, that Tyler Van Dyke or whatever his name is. And he actually didn't play that bad. And they almost won. I mean, they came back 45-42. NC State is a top 20 team, though. I don't think I can pull the trigger on Miami here. I mean, at the top of the show, when we looked at Miami's schedule, we already discounted this as an automatic loss for Miami. So I feel like I have to take NC State -3. That's not very many points. So I guess give me the Wolfpack on the road. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going with the Wolfpack on the road. I probably won't bet it, actually, just because I'm so scared with the ACC games in general. But I do believe NC State's going to win this pretty easily. I mean, it's hard to judge anything by North Carolina standards. North Carolina got lost to Florida State. North Carolina got blown out by Georgia Tech. So the fact that Miami kept it close with North Carolina doesn't really mean much to me at this point. And NC State can score. I like the over 51.5 also. But I like NC State -3.
Yeah, me too. We agree on that one. What's next for you?
The next one, everyone's saying, undefeated Wake Forest.
Wow. That sounds weird to say at this point in the year, doesn't it? Like that. You're usually lucky if you can still say that by the end of September. We're coming up on the end of October and we're still saying undefeated Wake Forest. Just sounds strange.
I think I read somewhere that the last time Wake Forest was 6-0 in football to start a season was like during World War II, something like that.
Damn.
1940 something. Army's a tough team. This game's in Army. Talk about the two polar opposite teams, play style wise. This is an interesting one. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole because I don't know how Wake Forest is going to play against a triple option team like Army. Army's tough. I can't believe Wake Forest is actually favored by 3.5 here. You know what? I might actually take Army, either take the 3.5 points or take them on the money line, but I'm not going to bet it.
Do I have a Wake Forest helmet? Yes, I do. But I also have an Army helmet. I hate picking against the service academies.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, I'm going to take under 52. That way I don't have to pick against the service academy.
Yeah, I like the under 52 as well. I really do.
And for any Texas A&M type people that might be watching, Army is an actual service academy with people who are actually required to go into the military, and it's an actual military school, an actual service academy. They're not running around with wooden guns up there playing Space Cadet. Just so you know. Just so we're clear on what the difference is. Just real quick, Oklahoma and Kansas. Now, even though Oklahoma scores a bunch of points, I don't bet them every week like I do, say, Ohio State or Cincinnati, because their defense is so bad. They are playing Kansas, but they're a 38.5 point favorite. I still can't bet that. Now, Oklahoma could win this game 55-7 or something, or 55-14, but I just, there's no scenario really where I'm laying 40 points or almost 40 points with Oklahoma.
There's been several of those really crazy lines this year, and I've been staying away from them because they are crazy, but almost all of them have covered, if not all of them. I'm inclined to bet Oklahoma at 38.5. I'm just hoping, like you said, like it's going to be 60-10 or something, you know?
This one will be so bad they might even put Spencer Rattler back in the second half.
I knew that was coming.
You got any thoughts on? You got any initial thoughts on where he may end up next year?
Well, I made a joke about Miami, but I'm not sure that it could actually be Miami. I'm trying to think of other teams that really need a quarterback, right? I saw somebody say Cincinnati. Isn't Cincinnati? His quarterback is gone after this year, right? He's been there for like 5 years.
I think so. Desmond Ridder, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I've seen that Cincinnati. I've seen Miami, Florida State. For some reason, a lot of the Florida schools keep coming up. in the conversation.
Who does Ole Miss have behind Matt Corral, I wonder?
That's a good question.
You know, Ole Miss is a school that can't recruit great, generally speaking. Now, they may end up getting some great QBs because of Lane Kiffin, but I mean, somebody like Spencer Rattler could probably put up a ton of numbers at Ole Miss, you know, with that offense.
Yeah. That would probably be the best. I mean, as far as his own interests are concerned, that would be the best place for him to land.
I remember when Matt Corral got hurt this past Saturday, they had to put another quarterback in for like one play or something, and the announcer said he had never thrown a pass in college before. So whoever the backup is, and maybe it's some amazing quarterback that I don't follow recruiting, so I wouldn't know, or maybe it's maybe it's somebody that's not all that good, and they could go all in on the Spencer Rattler sweepstakes in the offseason. I really don't know. I have no idea. It's gonna be interesting to see where he lands, though.
I mean, we know he's not going to want to go somewhere that has a solidified starter because he doesn't want to compete for the starting job. So that narrows it down.
Any chance we see him with a tater helmet on? Oh, no. They don't take transfers there. How about that?
No, not only that, they wouldn't take him anyway.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like him. From his
he came. Do you remember? Wasn't he on that show, the Quarterback One, or whatever the hell that show is?
Yeah, and he's extremely arrogant and cocky, or at least that's how he came across to a lot of people.
Yeah, he did. He came off that way. He sort of like Tate Martell did. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like him after that show either.
Right. Didn't work out for Tate Martell either in college, did it? Now that I think about it.
No, hell, he's on his fourth school.
Oh, jeez.
He's transferred 3 times.
He's like a drifter.
I don't even know what school he's at. Do you?
He just hitchhikes from campus to campus.
Oh, I think he's at UNLV or something like that.
Oh gosh, he's running out of places to go. Tate Martell. What else is interesting on here? Let's see. Where's all the SEC games? I feel like we haven't seen a single SEC game. Oh, here you go. And this one comes on in the afternoon, an unusual Pac-12 afternoon game. Oregon on the road at UCLA. UCLA is favored by 2.5.
Yeah, look at that.
And I told you I'm off the Oregon train. I'm taking UCLA here. Oregon, boy, I'm tired. They're the new Michigan as far as making me look like a fool. So give me UCLA. UCLA is another team up and down. Good one week, bad the next. But Oregon, outside of the Ohio State game, I haven't been impressed with them a single week this year. Give me UCLA at home, and that's less than a field goal. 30-27, UCLA. Give me the Bruins.
I hate to agree with you because I've been made to look a fool. I had Oregon as a playoff team preseason. I think I had Oregon in 2020 as a preseason playoff team. I think I had them in 2019 as a preseason playoff team. And for whatever reason, man, they can't get out of their own way. I was talking about that on my walk and talk show this morning about Mario Cristobal name being brought up for the LSU job. And, I don't think that would be a bad move for him to come back east and come down south, get away from Oregon. I mean, they're out recruiting the rest of the Pac-12 by a big number over the past three or so years since he's been head coach there, and they can't do anything with it. I don't know what the problem is there, but I'm with you. I think their back's up against the wall, and UCLA at home. Give me the Bruin, man.
Are these the two of the best coaches out there, Chip Kelly, Mario Cristobal? I mean, I know people like the guy from Utah, and hell, even Herm Edwards is doing okay at Arizona State, but I think this will be a pretty good game. I'll watch this game. Georgia's off this weekend, so I don't have to worry about trying to watch games around the Georgia game or whatever, but this will be one I'll watch this weekend for sure. I don't watch a lot of Pac-12 games, but this will be an interesting game. Oregon at UCLA, 3:30 on ABC. You don't have to wait till 11 o'clock at night to watch it. This will be one I'll watch.
Yeah, ironically, this is one I wish that was on at 11 o'clock at night because the Tater Man plays at 3:30, and I'll be watching that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, there should be an interesting game. You're right.
Trace Lothar of the Hill People says Clemson needs a QB. I think he's talking about Spencer Rattler. Huffer Billy Paul, thank you for the super chat as well. He says Spencer Rattler to South Carolina. I'm going to have to give you one of these.
Oh, that's another one I heard.
Why?
I did hear that.
Why? Oh, that would be great.
The question is, why would he want to go there?
That would be great. I would love to humiliate Spencer Rattler. I would love that.
Yeah, I hope that's where he goes. That would be great. You're right.
Spencer Rattler in the SEC would be gold for LouTube. Pretty sure. Boy, Jackpot would be all
Gamecocks
excited
fans, man,
just to get let down.
I don't know, man. Has South Carolina ran off more quarterbacks? Hell, the best quarterback they had since Connor Shaw, since Steve Spurrier days, they ran out of there. Bentley. Man, it's been a disaster ever since he left. He wasn't even that good, but hell, he's the best one they've had in a long time.
You know, Zeb Nolan saved the day for him this past weekend. They put him in the game in the fourth quarter, and he led that game-winning drive.
Old Zeb.
The legend of Zeb Nolan continues to grow.
Ain't he hang a big picture of Zeb Nolan on that stadium like they did with Steve Spurrier?
Who's a bigger legend, Zeb Nolan or Carolina Jackpot?
Carolina Jackpot by a long shot.
Not even close. Not even close. Shout out to Carolina Jackpot.
Not
My
even
boy's
close.
on vacation down in Daytona Beach this week. But he had one of the most epic live streams in YouTube history this past Saturday during that South Carolina game.
He absolutely did.
Yeah. Shout out to CJ, Carolina Jackpot. I'm sure he's having a good time.
He got mad at me for laughing at him. his meltdown. I mean,
I've skimmed through that live stream 5 or 6 times, and it seems like no matter where you stop in the live stream, he's either mad at South Carolina or mad at someone in the comments section.
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours of him either yelling about South Carolina or yelling about somebody in the comments section.
He did have a good point. He kept telling people in the comment section to stop putting spoilers because I guess his TV was behind or whatever.
Oh.
And so people kept doing it, and I understand that completely. Like, if you're trying to do a live stream for people and they keep spoiling it, you keep telling them not to, and they keep doing it anyway, that would piss me off too, especially if your team's losing. That just adds to the frustration. I don't know why he got mad at me though. I was just laughing at his reaction. I wasn't even watching the game. I could give a shit less about Vanderbilt and South Carolina. The only reason I was on that live stream was to watch him.
Yeah,
that's it. Give a shit about that game.
I don't think you can't live stream a game. I don't think, and then expect however many hundreds or thousands of people that happen to be in the comment section to pause their TV or something to get on the same time frame that you're on in terms of watching the game. You just have to not look at like when I'm doing a Georgia game, I don't look at the comments except during commercial breaks or long pauses in action, like a replay review or something like that. But if Georgia's up at the line about to run a play, I don't look down at the comment section. But I also don't sit down in front of my computer like most people do when they live stream, where it's kind of right in your face. You almost can't help it. I'm prancing around in here like a maniac, throwing chairs and shit around.
Yeah.
The look on, I think this was the first time. Nothing really ever happened in the Clemson game that set me off. I mean, I was extremely nervous for that game, and it was a close, tight game, so I stayed nervous the whole game. But nothing really ever happened that set me off. But something happened in that Georgia game this past weekend. What? Oh, I think, we scored a touchdown, but there was a penalty, and it got called back or something, and I lost it. And I think that was the first time BA had ever seen that. And the look,
you scare her off?
the look on her face was hilarious. Her reaction to me was funnier than my reaction to what had happened in the game. It was pretty.
What
funny.
was her reaction? Just looking at you weird,
Like,
or
just
did she
like
say
disbelief,
something?
like like
Yeah.
just like what have I gotten myself into here? I mean, I picked up my chair and body slammed it.
Oh yeah, that'll get a reaction.
Yeah. And it happened instantly. Like people who've watched me live stream, I've done stuff like that before. It's not a thought out process. Like something happens and the next thing I know, the chair's on the ground. Like I really can't help it. So she got to see a little more than she bargained for this weekend, I guess, but.
So you were a little bit perturbed.
I was a little bit perturbed. Yeah, I was a little bit perturbed.
Yeah.
All right, for Gold and Blue, man, what about West Virginia and TCU? Can West Virginia get off the schneid? Very disappointing season for the Mountaineers. TCU is a pretty good team. They're favored by 4.5. I don't see West Virginia winning this game, so it comes down to the spread for me, and I just think West Virginia's kind of falling apart right now.
Yeah, they have.
Now their losses have been close, but some of them. Oklahoma was the last second field goal, and then who'd they play the week after that? Was it Baylor or Texas Tech? Texas Tech. The weekend you were here, and that was a field goal situation. So I don't know. Maybe they can keep this one close too. I don't know. What do you think about this one?
That's another coach on the hot seat.
Yeah,
West Virginia coach. I'm ashamed to say I haven't seen a single TCU game this year, not one. So I really don't know where I stand on them, other than just looking at their record and everything. I haven't seen them play, so I won't touch this game. But West Virginia's, man, they are bad. Shout out to Gold and Blue dude, man. Somebody get this guy a walker or something for the game because he's going to need it. He's going to need something to hold on to.
He wants to keep the coach.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. And I don't totally blame him. I mean, I think this is his third year. It's very dangerous to start changing coaches every 3 years. I think when you change coaches after 3 years, I think it limits. I think there are certain coaches who are going to go, I'm not going to go there. You only gave the last guy 3 years. I want 4 recruiting classes or whatever the case. And it's just hard to build something when you're having turnover every 3 years. Like Tennessee and Miami is proof of that. And maybe you have to wait and see how they finish. But if they finish even with 5 wins, I would. Maybe you keep. Let's be honest. I like Gold and Blue, dude. West Virginia's no destination job. There ain't a bunch of coaches lined up going, man, I wish my phone would ring and West Virginia was on the other end. It's nothing against West Virginia. They're just not a top-tier job, in my opinion. And they're in the Big 12. Yeah. There's some uncertainty there. I don't know. I would probably give them another year unless the wheels just completely fall off. Like if they don't win another game or something.
Here's the question I have for Gold and Blue, dude, because I don't know the answer to this. But if you're looking at a guy who's only been there for 2 or 3 years and it's in basically a rebuild, what's the recruiting rankings looking like? Is he recruiting better than the previous guy or worse? Because that's where you're headed. You can only go with what players you've got. I mean, if he's got better recruiting numbers, then yeah, I'd say keep him around. If they're worse, I don't know. You find somebody who can recruit better. That's what I would do.
I like West Virginia. Like I never want to see them do bad. It doesn't bother me when they have good seasons. They have kind of a SEC fan base, kind of like they got their fans are hardcore nuts.
Oh yeah.
And I think things like that are good for college football. Fan bases like that are part of what draws people to college football. But they are having a really, really bad year.
There's no doubt that West Virginia has one of the coolest game day atmospheres in all of college football.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to go to a game there.
Yeah.
One of these days, maybe I'll get lucky. We'll see. Here's another interesting one. Oklahoma State, undefeated, beat Texas last week, is a 7-point underdog this week to Iowa State.
That is crazy to me.
Me too.
I mean, I know nobody just goes into Ames, Iowa, and expects to get a win, but damn, 7 points.
Yeah, I've got some conflicting feelings about Oklahoma State. Like, I do think they're a good team, possibly top 10-ish even. I also feel like I have seen this from Oklahoma State before, and they somehow find a way to finish 9-3.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, they have definitely been flying underneath the radar as an undefeated team, haven't they? I mean, nobody even talks about them, really.
Yeah, I kind of get Wake Forest, but like Oklahoma State's more of a known commodity in general when it comes to football, at least than Wake Forest is. And I feel like Oklahoma State and Wake Forest, until this past weekend when Oklahoma State beat Texas, I feel like Oklahoma State was getting treated about like Wake Forest was. They're getting a little bit more respect now. Let's see where they're. Where did they end up in this week's rankings? They got to be close to the top 10 by now. 8.
Not to mention,
they're 8 in the AP now. 8 in the AP, 9 in the coaches. So they moved up.
And where's Iowa State ranked?
They might not even be ranked.
They're 7 points.
They're not.
That's my point. So I'm not even claiming this is a very losable game for Oklahoma State, right? They're not Alabama. They're not Georgia. They're not one of these teams that you expect to see them win it big every week against a lesser opponent. But I even if they lose this game, I don't see it by a touchdown. I mean, it's time to give them a little bit of respect based on what they've done. Where like I said, we keep talking about, we know who these teams are. We're more than halfway through the season. Well, Oklahoma State's a pretty damn good football team. So I would take Oklahoma State as a 7-point underdog. I think that's way too much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted. Let me put up on the screen so people can see it. The money line is plus 220. Now, plus 220 is not a bet you're going to win often. It's not a bet you're going to win very often, but I'm tempted to do that and try to chase my losses from this past weekend. I might take Oklahoma State on the money line because I tell you this,
that's a good money line bet.
If you do like Oklahoma State, if you're somebody that maybe you're a fan of another Big 12 team, or maybe you're a fan of Oklahoma State and you've watched a lot of Oklahoma State and you're a believer in Oklahoma State, this will be the last week you get any value on Oklahoma State at all, because if they win this game, you won't see no more lines like this with Oklahoma State. That I can tell you. This is disrespectful here. A full touchdown underdog. I get the Iowa State mystique. I know it's a joke, kind of, about how you can't win there. It is a pretty tough place to play within the Big 12. I get that. But Iowa State's just not the team we thought they would be. And this is disrespectful. A top 10 team, undefeated top 10 big Power 5 team, is a touchdown underdog on the road against an unranked team. That's disrespectful. I'm going to take Oklahoma State for sure, plus 7, and I might even put a little on the money line too.
Yeah, and you know there's going to be bullet board material there. The Oklahoma State coaches are going to play that up. 7-point underdog. You're right. You're a top 10 team. They'll play it up. If it wasn't for my feelings about Oklahoma State in general, not just this year, but every year, which is, it seems like they're always good enough to go 11-1, but they always go 8-4. And so kind of like with Michigan, I just can't jump all the way in on Michigan, because I just feel like as soon as I do, they're going to lose 2 games in a row or something, because it's just happened so many times. And I sort of feel that way about Oklahoma State, but this just seems, I don't know. I almost bet on Oklahoma State last week against Texas, and I didn't. I'm not going to make that same mistake this week. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State and say they get it done. What else you like on here? I like it. Well, I'm going to skip. We'll definitely want to talk about Tennessee and Alabama, but I want to skip over that and just go right to South Carolina and Texas A&M. I said last week that 11.5-point spread that Texas A&M had was way off, and it ended up being way off, and that was one of my wins. I'm going to say the same thing here. this is going to be really bad. This game is in at Kyle Field. South Carolina is way worse than even I thought they would be, and I thought they were going to be terrible. This is going to be ugly, dude. This is going to be like a 56-7 game. Give me A&M minus 21.
Yeah, these two teams play each other every year cross division. So they're, it's not like this is South Carolina's first time going there, but they've never beat Texas A&M since Texas A&M joined the SEC 10 years ago or whatever it was. Texas A&M's beat them every single year. No way that changes. The South Carolina just played its worst game of the year. And I'm going to use one of your favorite phrases here. But, Pete, they should have lost that game to Vandy. But they didn't. But they've got too many problems to list, South Carolina. I mean, the quarterback situation is a complete mess there. Just a complete mess. And everything else is a mess. I mean, I still like a couple of their defensive linemen. And I like that one wide receiver. But outside of those two or three guys, it's hard to find anybody on the field for South Carolina who you look at and go, I wish we had him. Like, there's just not a lot of talent there. SEC talent. There's just not. I'm sure some of it has to do with first-year coach learning new schemes and philosophies and plays and all that. But the lack of talent that exists at South Carolina right now is mind-boggling, even for South Carolina. We clown South Carolina a lot, but they put a couple of players, good players, in the NFL every couple of years. I mean, but this team that they have now is absolutely horrible. I'm going to take Texas A&M at home and lay to 3 touchdowns. I think they can win by 5 touchdowns, like you said. I mean, they could win this game 42-10 or worse. They're playing with a lot of confidence after that win against Bama. It looked good. Again, this past weekend against Mizzou. So we'll see.
I like A&M, man. I think they're really good. This is a really good team against a really bad team. 21 points isn't near enough.
Yeah.
Not near enough.
Tennessee at Bama. Bama's favored by 24.5. I'm taking Tennessee in the points.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you there. 24.5 is just too much. It would probably be closer to like 17 or 20.
Tennessee's defense does worry me. They're bad, and if they're not able to force a few punts, 1 or 2 punts per half at least against Alabama, then they're going to lose by more than 24. But I don't know. That game last week at Ole Miss, it could go one of two ways. It could ruin them, or they can use it to their advantage. I'm gonna take Tennessee in the 24.5 though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bet this game because I'm just Tennessee's too hard to figure out. I know who Bama is, but Bama can give up points. I mean, we've seen them do it several times this year. They can give up points, and Tennessee's offense is not bad. So I would tend to agree with you. I think that Alabama's going to win the game. Just 24.5 seems like too many points against an offense like Tennessee, and Alabama's defense just isn't that great. Not what it usually is.
Dr. Vol says Joe Milton's playing QB. Now, Heupel said today that Hendon Ho is day-to-day. I wouldn't bet this game until you know for sure who's playing. Because if it is Joe Milton, if it is Joe Milton, forget it. I'll bet it would either not. I'll take Bama for sure. But Joe Milton, did you see the end of that game? How do you do that? I mean, how? I mean, there was 3 seconds on the clock. The guy runs around for 8 seconds before he ever decided to take off downfield. And then right before he steps out of bounds, he looks up at the clock like he's wondering how much time is left. I'm like, dude, the clock struck 0 8 seconds ago, bro. What are you doing? You have to put the ball in the end zone there. You have to throw that.
Yeah.
An interception doesn't matter at that point. How can you take off running in that situation? That blew my mind. That was awful. Yeah. So yeah, if he ends up playing, I won't take Tennessee. But Heupel said today, Hooker's day to day. Nah, you can't believe nothing these coaches say. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I wouldn't bet that game today. I would wait till Saturday when you know something for sure.
Yeah.
Huffer Billy Paul says Milton's brainwave activity is 0.
Damn.
Golly. That's bad. That is bad. He should have thrown the Hail Mary. It really wouldn't even have been a Hail Mary. I mean, they were on the 20-yard line. You know? But still, even if that's what you did, group a bunch of receivers together in the end zone and toss the ball in that general direction and hope you come down with it. Running out of bounds is the worst thing you can do. It just didn't make any sense. And that had to burn the Tennessee fans up, too, because they already couldn't stand him. But you cheered when Ole Miss's quarterback got hurt. And then you lost the game because your quarterback got hurt. It is funny how things work themselves out, Pete.
Karma.
Hilarious.
If you believe in that kind of thing.
Wisconsin at Purdue. Purdue with the big win last week against Iowa. I think that was at Iowa, too. Wisconsin's a 3.5-point road favorite. Wisconsin, one of the most disappointing teams in America. Definitely one of the most disappointing in the Big Ten. Purdue coming off a shocking win over a top 4 Iowa team last week, but Wisconsin is favored. What do you think about this one? Can Purdue any good? Is either team any good? No.
I don't think either team is any good.
No.
I think as a general rule of thumb, when neither one of the teams is any good, you take the home dog. Unless you had over a field goal, 3.5. But I don't know, man. I think this might be a little bit of a reaction or overreaction to Purdue beating Iowa, because Iowa is obviously a good team. But was that more about Purdue, or was that more about Iowa just laying an egg? I don't know.
I'm not betting a dime on this game.
No, me either.
LSU at Ole Miss. Now, how many win one for the Gippers are we going to see from LSU for the rest of the year? I didn't think they were going to win another game except for the Louisiana Monroe. Well, they already proved me wrong because they beat Florida last week. And I have a feeling the team – do you think the team knew before the game? Because Ed O knew before the game. Do you think he told the team before that?
Yeah, I doubt it. But maybe. Hell, I don't know.
Well, they definitely know now. So
yeah, they definitely know now. Yeah.
And Matt Corral is also day-to-day with a twisted ankle. Can the Corn Dogs win huge. One for the Gipper? Plus 290. Now, last week, the Corn Dog was like plus 330.
Yeah, I don't know if the Corn Dog is going to win this outright, but the 9.5 points is interesting, though. I would probably take him with the points, especially if Matt Corral's not starting. I mean, I would definitely take the Corn Dog plus 9.5 if Corral's not in there.
I'm going to take the Corn Dog plus 9.5. Win one for the Bayou Gipper. Give me the points. I'm going to take the Corn Dog plus 9.5 in that one.
Yeah, I mean, what shit? Ed Orgeron, he's got nothing to lose, right?
No.
Every game for him is a free. It's like a free game. Look, he doesn't have to worry about keeping his job. He already knows he's gone.
He's leaving Baton Rouge the first week of December with $17 million check in his pocket, whether he goes winless or undefeated the rest of the way. Doesn't matter. He's leaving with $17 million buyout. So there's no pressure on him. He can relax and have fun. Now, the problem is, LSU's missing a lot of talented players that have gotten injured and different things like that. And they're, honestly, they just haven't been that good. But we'll see. Maybe they could rally around to win one for the Gipper deal and pull something off here against Ole Miss, who, by the way, still thinks they can win the SEC West. And I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying Ole Miss has a lot to play for, too. In every game is a playoff game almost for Ole Miss. They got destroyed by Bama, but if Bama loses another game, that would be Bama's second loss. Ole Miss still just has one loss, so they're mathematically alive still to win the West, so they've got plenty of motivation too. Playing at home. It'll be an interesting game. This one comes on at 3:30. I'm going to watch this one too. I think this could be a good game too.
That should be interesting. LSU can go one of two ways here. Either the players can just give up and the wheels completely fall off,
right?
Or they rally around Edo and they they win a few games on the way out. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Boy, here's a game that if you're old like I am, this was one of the best games of the year for 4 or 5 years in a row in the mid-2000s. But Southern Cal and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a 7-point home favorite.
Whew.
That number makes it hard. I feel like it's a good number. Like that's tough.
Yeah.
Notre Dame hasn't really been impressive in any game this year, really. I mean, barely beat Virginia Tech, lost to Cincinnati, barely beat Florida State, barely beat Toledo or whoever it was.
They beat the shit out of Wisconsin, but that all came in the fourth quarter.
Right.
They poured it on late. This is a hard one, man. So Notre Dame, I know, is coming off a bye week, which I think works in their favor. And, of course, Southern Cal is just down right now. And then, they don't even have a coach, or at least not a permanent one. I would say give me the Irish at -7. I'm not betting this. You can put Notre Dame, even though they're not technically in the ACC, you can put them in the same category as 99% of the ACC teams, is just being unpredictable from week to week. So,
I actually like Notre Dame in this one, and I might actually bet it too. They've had some quarterback issues. The starter was hurt, and the backup was playing. But so either way, though, the bye week is a huge benefit, I think, for Notre Dame there. Either the starter gets healed up and he can go, or the backup gets an extra 2 weeks of practice. It's at home for Notre Dame. Like you said, Southern Cal, not very impressive this year. Coach fired in week 2. Long way to travel. I like Notre Dame in this one, and I haven't been high on. I don't know that I've bet Notre Dame a single week this season. Maybe week 1 against Florida State, and look what happened. But I like Notre Dame this week.
This is a traditional rival. So despite the fact that USC is down in comparison to years past, Notre Dame, this is still really a big deal for them every year. They really hate USC, and I know USC hates them. So. You might be right. I don't know. 7 just seems like too many points, but I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame won this by 3 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if this came down to a field goal. So it's just too unpredictable for me.
Nothing else on here for me. Anything else we skipped that you wanted to go back to?
No, I mean, I don't think so.
Liberty at North Texas. I don't care anything about this game, but Pete, Liberty was a 32.5-point favorite last week and lost.
Oh. What happened?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game, but
who did they play?
I think it was
the money
Louisiana
line
Monroe.
Insane.
I think it was Louisiana.
Oh
Monroe.
man!
Anybody know who Liberty played? I think it was Louisiana Monroe.
Somebody
but could be wrong.
Some lucky bastard bet UL Monroe on the money line and made a shitload of money. I guarantee somebody did somewhere. That's got to be like a plus 20,000 type of.
Let me find a
money line.
Let me find a game that fits that. Something in the 30s. Well, Tennessee at plus 24.5 is plus 2,000.
Okay. Well, here you go. Kansas and Oklahoma, 38.5 plus 10,000.
Plus 10. $100 would win you 10 grand. God.
That's insane.
Somebody, you know, there was somebody out there somewhere that cashed in on that. Somebody somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With all the bets that are made every week, somebody did it.
Yeah, probably some drunk guy sitting in the casino in Vegas watching the 100 games and bet whatever $20 on his card on a bunch of insane money line bets and hit it.
I want to hit something like that one day, but my problem is I don't ever have the guts to bet anything like that, and if I do, it's going to be $10. You know, and I'll walk away with 200 or something instead of 10,000 or whatever, because I didn't have the guts to bet 100 on it. You know.
Well, Jackpot tells a story about a few years ago how he hit like a 6 or 7 team parlay, and I forget how much he said he won. It was like $4,000 or something. So it must have only been like $10 or $15, but he won $4,000 on it.
Yeah.
The chances of doing that are just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost have a better chance, getting $1 million scratch off ticket than you do doing that.
Yeah. Damn. I don't think I've ever hit anything higher than a 3-team parlay. And I've hit several threes. I don't think I've ever hit any more than a 3-team parlay, though.
A few years ago, I hit a 4-team one. I'm trying to remember how much I won, like $500. It was a low money bet, but I won like $500.
Yeah.
Problem is, you do that one time and then you start thinking that you're good and you can do it all the time. You can't.
Right. And before you know it, all that money you won, you've given right back to the casino.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you think you figured something out.
Yeah, you figure shit out.
Right.
You got lucky.
If I got lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway. Let me ask you this, Pete. Are you starting to feel pressure? Because I know you walk every day. Are you starting to feel pressure to record something every time you walk since people like those videos so much?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I haven't really had, I'm sure I will run into this problem, especially in the off season, about a topic. Pretty much every day that I've gone walking since I started doing this, I've had something that I, had no problem talking about or coming up with material for. But I knew there was going to be a day when I go for a walk and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to talk about today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if that happens, I just won't record it. I'm not going to force it or anything. But
yeah,
I actually enjoy doing it. Now, the only thing is, and I wasn't joking when I said this, is that it used to be when I took my walks, they were really relaxing. And, I wasn't talking, I was just walking. Like you were saying, I was walking and listening. That's what I would do, is walk and listen. And then so now I find myself in half of these videos getting mad about something. So it's not as relaxing.
You're getting yourself all worked up.
Getting myself all worked up and getting pissed off,
That's funny.
Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I like.
And then some of the looks I get from people, I'm sitting there yelling into my phone, and other people are walking.
Now,
and they're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
There's a lot of cuts in those videos. Is that what's happening? Is you see someone walking towards you, so you stop yelling for a while until they pass you, and then you resume? That is part of it. Yeah. As you can tell from the videos, I'm walking down a golf cart path. So the neighborhood I live in, there's probably, I don't know how many hundreds of people ride golf carts around, but there's hundreds. And so there's constant golf cart traffic and bike traffic on that path. And yeah, I'll typically stop recording for whatever, 10 or 15 seconds to let a golf cart go by. That's usually what that is. Yeah. It is weird. It's for people that don't do YouTube. You get used to sitting in a room by yourself and doing all kinds of saying whatever, doing whatever. You get used to that eventually. But like these vloggers, like the YouTube vloggers that like walk around downtown New York or wherever they're at, just filming themselves all day long and talking, that's very uncomfortable. And that's probably what it's like when you're doing your walk and talk. I've done a few things like that, mainly when I've been out of town. What was the when I went to Charlotte for the Dave Matthews Show, and I went to the Bank of America Stadium to film Tater Man. I didn't stop, but it's very weird because you can see in the video there's people walking by and they're staring at you like, what is this idiot doing? It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very uncomfortable. I guess those vloggers, it's probably like sitting in your room and doing it. Eventually, I guess you get used to it. But because I normally don't do that, it's very uncomfortable for me to be out in public, walking around, recording myself. I'm not comfortable doing that at all.
It is kind of uncomfortable, but the thing with me is I've got my phone on a stick when I'm doing that. So it's not even the phone's not even in my hand. So if somebody's coming towards me, if they don't know that I'm recording myself, they might think I'm recording them, and I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want it to look like I'm walking around the neighborhood recording people.
Right.
Because then they'll be posting it on the neighborhood Facebook page of some creep walking around recording people and children and all kinds of shit. I don't need that. I don't need that problem.
There'll be like a police sketch artist image of you stapled to all the telephone poles.
Yeah. So I do it more for their comfort level than my own. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. But.
Yeah, it is strange. It is strange to do that. It is something that takes getting used. And like I said, even doing it in your room by yourself is something that when you first start doing it, it feels very strange. D4 has talked about this a lot recently. He just started. A lot of D4's first videos were just clips of things. It wasn't him on camera talking to himself. And he's doing some of that now. And he's talked about how weird it feels, and it does. It takes a while to get used to it, and so I'm sure.
Yeah, if you're not used to it, it's something to get used to.
Yeah, and so for those vloggers, it's probably just they've done it so many times now that doing that to them is no different than me or you sitting in our room and doing what we do. We just have become comfortable with it, over time, and that's probably the case for them too.
Right.
But yeah, anytime I'm out in public, even when I go to Georgia games. And I walk around and film stuff or whatever. It feels very strange. But you do an excellent job. And now, do you feel any pressure knowing that my overall health is directly tied to how many walk and talk videos you do a week?
Now that I do feel pressure on. I think that exercise is something that you definitely need. If maybe I need to make my videos longer so you'll walk further.
Yeah, because I only go walking when you upload a walk and talk. So
yeah, it's rough though because a 10 or 15 minute walk and talk video is typically 30 minutes of recording.
Yeah,
more. And I guess I could record the entire time, but I don't want to talking about random shit just to make the video longer.
No, I like the way you do it, and I think you got something there. Like you said, right now it's the football season, so you could probably just get up every morning, go to ESPN, pick a headline, and walk and talk about it. During the off season, it might be harder. But that's when, you can do a lot of non-football stuff, too. The first couple of walk and talks you did over the last couple of weeks were non-football related, with the cake and the...
Yeah, well, I mean, that like the one with the animals, that fell right into my lap because of the Monday night football or the Thursday night football game the day before where that hawk landed on that guy's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stuff like that, you never know what's going to happen. But I can take something stupid like that and make a video out of it, no problem. It doesn't have to be sports related.
One of the games we were watching this weekend, we weren't watching the Baylor game, but they must have been showing the Baylor game or highlights of the Baylor game or something, and they showed that damn grizzly bear, which they don't keep on the sidelines anymore, but apparently they do still have one, and they showed it on TV.
They got two of them.
And I turned around to BA, and I said, look at this. I bet you Pete is going nuts right now if he sees this.
Hey, I don't know, is Baylor man, the Baylor man that's in the comment section in here, and he made it a point to let me know that they don't let those bears on the field.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, man, I understand. It's like, why do you? They don't just have one bear; they've got two bears. You know that?
I did not know that.
They got a pair of them. Yeah, and they're sisters apparently. The bears are two female bears.
Is the Baylor man in here now? Wish he was. What in the hell is that running thing that they do before the game? Did anybody see that this weekend? They must have showed it 100 times on all the highlight shows and the halftime shows. Before the Baylor BYU game, it's like somehow all the fans get down in the corner of the end zone and run to the other corner of the end zone. But, I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's like 2,000 or 3,000 of them.
What?
I don't know what it is. It has to have some kind of a meaning because the problem is I had it on one of the secondary TVs with no volume. I'm sure they were explaining what it was every time they kept showing it. But they just kept showing it over and over again. And it was the weirdest thing. It's like they run from one corner of the stadium to the opposite corner. So they're running like 130 yards or something. And sprinting, full sprint.
Is it after a score, you said?
No, it's before the game. I don't know if they're running to their seats.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. Somebody in the comments says it's a tradition they do with their students. So I don't know if, like, they come in one gate, but their seats are on the opposite end, so they have to run across the thing. I don't understand. And it's like first come, first serve seating or something. I don't know what. I don't understand it. Senior run. All seniors were running for their homecoming. Okay.
Ego One says it's a tradition they do with their students, right? But yeah, that's not really telling us what it is, though.
Arkansas man says it has to do with all the senior students get to do it on homecoming. But so what happens when they get to the other side of the field? Like, what is there a benefit for coming in first? Are they running to their seats? Never mind. I don't care. It just
it's
was
like
weird.
The chicken crossing the road to get to the other side. That's the only reason they do it.
If I only would have saw it one time, I probably wouldn't have thought nothing else about it. But if I saw it, I'm not joking. If I saw it once, I saw it 50 times on Saturday. So I said, well, something must be going on here because no matter what channel I was watching, every post-game show, every halftime show, every highlight show kept showing these Baylor people running. And I'm like, I didn't know if they were running to something, away from something. Is the bear chasing them? I didn't know. And I still don't know.
Yeah, well, so that's a solid point. At least if the bear gets loose, they'll practice running away from it. That's a valid point.
So, yeah, it looked like the running of the Gumps. That's a good analogy. The Gumps that they do for their spring game or whatever. When they let the fans in or their autograph day or whatever it is, and you know, it's a bunch of 55-year-old Alabama fans sprinting down the field, the running of the Gumps.
I did I send you that picture that Alabama fan at the Panthers game with the Forrest Gump jersey on?
Yes,
that was hilarious.
Yes,
that guy, he was funny. He had a good sense of humor. He even had the correct Forrest Gump's correct number on the jersey.
Here you go. They actually have a YouTube video called 2014 Chariots of Gump instead of Chariots of Fire. Let's watch this. There you go. All right, here it is. I think I saw Law Tide.
This is some Slob Olympic material here.
Look at him. Whoever did this is a genius. Is that Ballard? Look, they're barefooted. Look, they're barefooted as fuck. They're barefooted as hell. The running of the Gumps. Okay. I guess we get the idea, but I could watch that for an hour though.
Yeah, that is definitely Slav Olympic material right there.
Let me see if I can find one about Baylor.
Speaking of the Slav Olympics, I think it goes without saying we have to do a mustard throw, right? I mean, we did the shoot throw last year.
We're gonna throw a mustard bottle this year. We can do that.
Yeah.
Trying to find, is this the Baylor thing? There you go.
God.
I guess they are running to their seats or something. I don't know. Or what do they do? Or maybe now the team runs out through them? Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, they're like a human tunnel.
Yes, human tunnel. Human tunnel.
Who said that? Savage Dog says, looks like Black Friday shoppers.
What is this?
You weren't kidding, though. There was thousands of them.
Played for Alabama, where Clemson Tigers Alabama, a tradition like no other. Playing off of Forrest Gump, who played for Alabama, where Crimson Tide fans line up to bolt after coaches and players during Fan Day in Tuscaloosa. So typically, the fastest sprinter becomes the first in line. That is until this year, where those who wanted Nick Saban's John Hancock had to put on a wristband and wait for the autograph session like civilized humans. So the first in line actually was the first in line. No running experience needed. R.I.P. to the running of the Gumps. And in its honor, thanks to this video from AL.com, let's look back at the tradition that was.
Alabama boy. Alabama fans are the gift that just keep on giving.
The feed is brought to you by CC's Pizza.
So wait, so they used to actually make these people run to get the first autograph?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's just wrong, man.
The running of the Gumps. Man. Thank God they have a good football team to cheer for. Because if not, they would be the butt of every joke. I mean, they still are, but wow.
Yeah.
Alabama fans, God bless them. Running of the Gumps. All right, Pete, we got to get out of here. Another great show. We did it again. It's really amazing. This string of amazing shows we put together here on Monday nights is really unmatched. There's no other Monday night show at 10 p.m. in the college football community anywhere on YouTube that comes even close to what we're doing here. So much so, I don't even think anyone's willing to try. So we've set the bar so high and laid the gauntlet down with such force that there's just nothing anyone can do at this point. So, and it's all because of you, Pete. This was your idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
The show is taking on a life of its own. That's for sure.
It really has. I sometimes find myself going, I do like football season, but when football season's over, at least we can get back to the show about nothing.
That's true.
Because I do feel like during the season, this show has become about something, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, the people that are just here during the season are in for a real treat during the off season. I'll tell you that.
Yes. Yes, they are. All right, everybody. We appreciate you all tuning in. Big shout out to everybody who participated in the comment section, hit the thumbs up, donated through Super Chat or PayPal. Up for Billy Paul, Trace Lothar, Cole Spinner, Willie, Williamson, Scott Kerr, Greg, Wilkie, Cole Spinner, Huffer Billy Paul, and Rhino on the PayPal too. Huffer Billy Paul and Rhino. Appreciate that. You guys are great. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support you give me and Pete on this Lunch Money Show. We have a great time doing it. We're glad y'all hang out with us. And we'll do it again next Monday night at 10 p.m. All right, Pete, tell them where to find you.
Same time, same bat channel every week on the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel. A Wednesday and Friday night at 10 p.m. live call-in show, and of course every Tuesday at 7 p.m. the ACC show with me and Sea-Dog. That's it.
You guys make sure you check out Pigskin Pete. If you haven't already, just type in Pigskin Pete in your YouTube search bar. His channel will come up. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel. I'll be back the morning show on the second channel. I do every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Actually, it's called The Mustard Shoe, not The Morning Show. It's now called The Mustard Shoe, but we do that every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 a.m. on the second channel. My call-in shows are Tuesday and Thursday night at 10 p.m. right here on this channel, College Football Call-In Show. Make sure you check it out. I will have the Your Season is Over video and the Top 25 video out tomorrow for this past weekend, and we'll go from there. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good morning.